the Channel3000.com Alert Center. This is News 3 Now at 10.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Charlotte is off tonight. More testing for coronavirus has pushed the number of cases past 100 now in 14 states around the country. Today, New Hampshire and New York announcing their first cases, and the death toll also growing. At least 6 now have died, all of them in the state of Washington. Right now here in Wisconsin, 2 potential cases are still pending. Additionally, the Department of Health says testing is now available at 2 sites in Wisconsin, the Milwaukee Health Department and the State Hygiene Lab here on UW-Madison's campus. Those tests are done with swabs to the nose or throat and can be returned within 1 or 2 days. Positive test results identified by the state lab will then be sent to the CDC for confirmation. Our Madeline O'Neill talked with one of the experts at UW today about this cutting-edge work. Maddie?
Eric, today UW-Madison panelists shared information on how the coronavirus is affecting China. In the meantime, researchers here are working to develop a vaccine and a cure.
It's a very complicated process.
Coming up with a cure and vaccine for the novel coronavirus as it spreads throughout the world.
We use really high-resolution imaging techniques to essentially examine how the virus works as a first step in figuring out how you can defeat the virus.
Between innovating ways to battle the virus.
Certainly the work we're doing is cutting edge.
UW-Madison Assistant Biochemistry Professor Robert Kirchdorfer is speaking at this panel focusing on the coronavirus crisis in China.
We need to learn from their mistakes and their good points.
Speakers' topics range from molecular virology to the spread of misinformation on social media in China and beyond. With the head of the Wisconsin China Initiative, Jerry Yin, saying we need to be ready here at home just in case.
I think it's probably time we think about it and proactively prepare for things that hopefully don't happen, but might.
Yin says that includes containment strategies and testing kits. The State Lab of Hygiene is now able to do its own testing instead of relying on the CDC.
I think that we're going to find more cases because we're doing a better job of surveillance. I think that that does make a difference and can make a very positive difference in trying to contain the disease.
Kirchdorfer expects a vaccine will be ready for the public in about 8 months.
It is incredibly quick.
In the meantime,
I would say the majority of the population is going to get through this just fine.
Kirchdorfer says there are a number of candidates for a potential coronavirus vaccine. The vaccine that may be ready in 8 months would come out of Massachusetts. And even though Kirchdorfer says that's a very accelerated pace, it would still undergo safety checks to make sure there aren't any kind of side effects.
Important work that they're doing there. UW, Madeline O'Neill reporting. Maddie, thank you. Now, if you're planning for spring break, keep in mind most travel insurance does not cover epidemics. In a majority of cases, once a virus is known, its presence is no longer an unforeseen event and there's no related coverage. Some insurance companies explicitly state epidemics and pandemics as excluded reasons for canceling a trip. A boost in coronavirus cases in Italy results in restricted travel to that country. 2 major carriers, Delta and American, suspending flights to Milan. Trips to Rome, however, have not been affected just yet. Italian officials say the country has nearly 1,700 cases confirmed now. 34 of them have turned out to be fatal cases. Italy has the highest number of cases in the world outside of Asia. 170 UW students studying abroad in Italy are now packing their bags, coming home. The university suspended the program on Friday after the jump in cases there. We spoke to one of those students via Skype today.
I still feel so safe here. However, I'm definitely worried about coming home.
With her time abroad cut in half, UW junior Molly Davis says it's difficult to accept that her semester in Italy is over. Now she's focused on what happens next before she's allowed back to the U.S. UW officials are also unsure what the next step is for those students. They will be able to finish the coursework online. Amazon says it has pulled more than 1 million products for price gouging or falsely advertising effectiveness against coronavirus. Amazon says third-party sellers must follow its fair pricing policy, which states companies cannot set a price significantly higher than seen in other places or sell an item that misleads customers. As always, be sure to stay with News 3 Now and Channel 3000 for the very latest news as it applies to the coronavirus issue. Check out our free news app to stay updated on the go. Let's go to weather now. March, a warm start here. Meteorologist Dana Fulton on our first warn forecast. Dana?
It's really been a pleasant first few days of March, and for the rest of the week, it seems like these mild conditions are just going to stick around for a little bit. Spring is right around the corner, and this was our little taste of it. About 17 days until the first day of spring, officially on March 19th. Tomorrow, temperatures will be in the mid-40s for our afternoon highs, with partly sunny skies in the afternoon, but there is going to be a chance for some light snow early in the morning. Passes through very quickly, and anything that does fall and accumulates will melt later on in the day. We are above average for the rest of this week, into the weekend, and for next week. No big cool down in sight. We'll take a closer look at that light snow chance for the morning and our next rain chance in just a few minutes.
Well, Dana, thank you. Today, for the first time since the shooting rampage in Milwaukee, employees are going back to the Molson Coors campus. Workers greeted by increased patrols, and security guards lined the streets in the area. The company now also checking people's bags upon entry and offering employees on site counseling today.
I feel more safer for the workers more than ever because they need it more than anything. Just imagine what they're thinking right now. Just how they focus into work.
Nearby local businesses are also holding fundraisers. Hamburger Mary's will host one tomorrow and Wednesday night and pass all donations to the General Miller Valley Survivors Fund, which already has more than $820,000 in donations. The pilot of a small single-engine plane executed a perfect belly landing. This was at Goodyear Airport in Phoenix today, reportedly missing a wheel and the landing gear. The plane spent several minutes circling the airport to burn off some fuel. The pilot, well, they get a run to safety here. Neither one appeared hurt after they got out and took off. According to the FAA, the plane's tail number belongs to an airline training company. Well, within the last 48 hours, two Democratic presidential hopefuls have dropped from the race, and both have also now endorsed former Vice President Joe Biden. It comes on the eve of the biggest primary day this election season, Super Tuesday tomorrow. 14 states, along with American Samoa, casting their ballots. Joe Biden has new momentum following a big win in South Carolina, but trails Senator Bernie Sanders in the overall delegate count.
I think there's an awful lot of people who are running for office who don't want to run with Bernie at the top of the ticket as a self-proclaimed socialist.
The economic establishment and the political establishment are becoming very nervous.
Well, in total, more than 1,300 delegates are up for grabs Tuesday night alone, but delegates will be awarded proportionally based on performance, meaning no one candidate will emerge with a lock on the nomination. Former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg will also appear on the ballots tomorrow, the first test of his unorthodox campaign and hundreds of millions of dollars in spending. Governor Tony Evers, back home, signed several bills into law today at an event in Ashland aimed to help students struggling with mental health. One of those bills will add local and national suicide prevention hotline numbers to the back of student IDs, so students have the resources right at their fingertips. He said it's another tool in the toolbox to help students get the support they need. A conservative law firm wants to send the voter purge case to the state Supreme Court. On Friday, an appeals court overturned a judge's decision to remove more than 200,000 voters from Wisconsin rolls for not responding to a mailer asking them to update their registration. 18,000 of those people have Madison addresses. We tried a handful of those today, and every house we knocked the doors on was one where a voter had moved. An ongoing lawsuit says regardless, the letter did not give enough information to merit a voter actually being removed.
The letter didn't tell people who received it that their registrations would be deactivated if they didn't respond. It didn't give them a timeline for when that might happen. It didn't tell them how they could avoid that.
Now, because of that, he says the Constitution protects those people from being removed even if they did move. But state statute also weighs in. That's the part Wisconsin courts are trying to figure out now. And if the Friday appellate court ruling stands, all voters will stay on the rolls. President Trump's ban on bump stocks will stay in place. Supreme Court justice rejecting a challenge to that ban brought on by gun rights advocates. Last year, the ATF banned those attachments that essentially allow semi-automatic firearms to quickly fire like machine guns. The president pushed for the ban after the 2017 massacre in Las Vegas, where a shooter used rifles with bump stocks to open fire on concert goers. New tonight, Chris Matthews, one of the country's best-known political talk show hosts, is retiring from MSNBC effective immediately. It comes amid a string of recent controversies. Matthews made that announcement on tonight's episode of his show Hardball. That's a show he's hosted now for more than 20 years. The 74-year-old has been a staple of MSNBC's political coverage almost since the cable channel launched back in the mid-1990s. And still to come tonight at 10, the DNR puts out a deadline for ice fishing as temperatures start to rise. Plus, a locally based clothing company scores another deal with a major airline. That story when we come back.
Auto show concept cars are great, especially when affordability is part of the concept. Announcing Auto Show savings time at your local Ford dealer.
Now get great deals on Explorer, Escape, Fusion, F-150, and more.
Every Ford is proudly built with tomorrow's technology today, all with huge savings. Now that's a great concept.
During Auto Show savings time, choose Escape with FlexBuy and get 0 for 66 financing plus $2,500 when you finance through Ford Credit.
When being sick isn't as bad as
not knowing why you're sick.
When questions lead to confusion.
And angst and anxiety.
When it feels like there's a tiger chasing you into the darkness.
And all you want is a little light.
A little hope.
This is when you need the best of the best. Doctors who don't just perform cutting-edge procedures and treatments. Doctors who invent them. UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
We're back at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison for a big drawing. Let's go down to Tina.
Hey guys, we're here for the drawing of the brand new car, and there sure are a lot of anxious people waiting to see if they've won.
And the winner is Alan Jordan.
Yes! Congratulations!
Marie, baby, we won! We'll get rid of the old beater your dad gave us. Marie!
Looks like Dad's gonna get the old beater back.
Yeah, right?
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
I grew up working in my family's supper clubs. This is where it started with us as far as the fish that we serve at Culver's today. We source the finest cod and batter each fillet by hand and always cook it to order. That beautiful golden brown color and flaky on the inside. The fish fry is a Midwest tradition. It's about coming together. It's families, friends. I love bringing this tradition to guests everywhere. Mom and Dad would be proud. Welcome to Delicious.
It's incredible. It's award-winning. It's the new Ram 1500 at Don Miller. With the President's Day event on now, there's great selection. The new Ram 1500, it's Green Car Journal's 2019 and 2020 Green Truck of the Year. Lease a new 2020 Ram 1500 Crew Cab Bighorn 4x4 for only $279 a month plus taxes and fees, 39 months, 10,000 miles per year, $34.99 due at signing. See salesperson for details. The President's Day event on now at Don Miller, your Madison truck headquarters.
Don Miller.
Hi folks, Tuesday morning, the warm start to March is going to continue. Hattie will have your forecast to start the day.
And with concern about coronavirus spreading, we're going over how you can prepare to protect your family.
We'll see you at 4:30.
Welcome back. One of television's most popular court shows, Judge Judy, will end production next year after it concludes its 25th season. Judge Judy Scheinland said she will move on to a new series called Judy Justice. She made the announcement on Ellen today. She is not disclosing where her new show will air. The multiple award-winning Judge Judy premiered back in 1996. She received a Lifetime Achievement Award at the 2019 Daytime Emmys. Iconic hip-hop group Public Enemy is firing Flavor Flav after 37 years. Rolling Stone reporting that the founding members Flavor Flav and Chuck D were fighting over the marketing of the group's name and likeness during a Bernie Sanders campaign rally in Los Angeles yesterday, in which Public Enemy Radio performed in a cease and desist letter to Sanders. Flavor Flav's attorney wrote that Public Enemy's endorsement of Senator Sanders' campaign was false. American Airlines debuting new uniforms for 50,000 of its frontline employees, including ticket agents and flight attendants, replacing its previous collection that some employees said triggered a variety of illnesses, including rashes and headaches. These new uniforms are made by Dodgeville-based Land's End. Americans severed ties in 2017 with Twin Hill because the previous close sparked more than 1,600 health complaints by cabin crews. However, Land's End has had a similar situation lately with Delta. More than 500 employees suing Land's End because they also claim their uniforms caused various illnesses. Luxembourg, now the first country in the world with free public transportation. The small but wealthy European Union nation made the transition to free trains, trams, and buses just this past weekend. A transportation ministry spokesperson says the government hopes the move will alleviate heavy congestion and bring environmental benefits as well. Luxembourg's public transport system covers the whole country and costs $562 million a year to run. If you had an iPhone 6 or 7 before 2018, you could get some money back from Apple. The company is settling a class action lawsuit claiming it purposely slowed down those iPhone models to make users think they needed newer, faster phones. Under the deal, owners of certain iPhone models will be entitled to $25 per device. The payout is expected to cost Apple up to $500 million. More local news now. The Wisconsin Veterans Museum announcing today it is expanding hours beginning at the end of the month, March 31st through September. The museum says the new schedule will be more convenient to the public, including later weekday evenings and longer weekend hours. Starting today, you can now enter a lottery to be part of Wisconsin's elk hunt. State DNR officials don't know yet how many tags will be awarded until April, but last year the agency released 10. More than 60,000 people have applied for those tags over the first 2 years of this hunt. It returned 2 years ago after the state's elk population saw a rise to more stable numbers. You can apply for a tag until the end of May. And the DNR has also set a deadline to remove any permanent ice shanties from Wisconsin waters north of Highway 64. That deadline, March 15th. The DNR is urging ice fishers not to wait to the last minute, as these temperatures are already starting to warm up, and early spring rain could complicate removing those shanties.
This time of year, the ice can change pretty quick, and we don't want those falling into our lakes and rivers.
The department says abandoning or burning the shanties on top of the ice will not be acceptable. Half of the world's beaches could disappear by the end of the century because of climate change. That's according to a new study out today in the journal Nature Climate Change. Researchers found that rising sea levels would be a key force in eroding many heavily populated coastal areas. That includes beaches on the east coast of the United States, South Asia, and Central Europe as well. Meteorologist Dana Fulton joining us now, as we've enjoyed, depending on what your things you like to do are. We've enjoyed a warm start.
It's been a warm
to March.
Yes, a quiet start. March rolling in like a lamb rather than like a lion this year. But if you were a fan of maybe holding on to winter a little bit longer, that's just not going to be the case for us over the next few weeks, as temperatures are really trending to stay above average and stay pretty mild. We started March off again with temperatures above average. We should be in the mid to upper 30s for this time of year. So seeing temps yesterday in the 50s, today in the 40s, it's higher than where we should be at. Sunny skies expected for the next few days. Overall, it will mainly be dry, but there are going to be a few small opportunities for a little bit of precipitation to creep on in. A cold front passing through last night brought a lot of rain and storm activity to the southern end of the Midwest. For us, it just cooled our temperatures down a little bit today rather than climbing to the low 50s like we did on Sunday. We only saw those temperatures getting to the low 40s. Now we're keeping our eyes off a trough just to the northwest. As this clips further southeast, it's going to bring just a small chance for some light snowfall for early on tomorrow morning. Not expecting a major event, not expecting any visibility concerns during your morning drive, but this is what we're keeping a close eye on. Around 5, 6, 7 o'clock, the drive into work is going to include some light snow. It moves through very quickly. It's a nice tight line, so once the snow comes in, it's out of here within 20-30 minutes. That line passing through very quick. Temperatures at that time will be in the mid-20s, but then behind the snow will start to warm on up throughout the day. In the afternoon, partly sunny skies expected. Slight chance for an isolated flurry, a little wraparound moisture, mainly north of Madison, but wouldn't be surprised if some areas around Dane County did see a snowflake or two. Anything that falls in the morning tomorrow is going to melt. We're not looking at accumulations more than maybe 1/10 of an inch. Flash forwarding to Thursday. This is our next opportunity for a little bit of rain to creep on in. Thursday in the morning, areas again north of Dane County likely going to see some light snow or rain. Not a major accumulating event, but it passes through. And even in the afternoon, it seems likely that it's still going to stay mainly north of Madison. Later in the day on Thursday, we could see some lighter flurries pass through, but we won't pick up much along with that. So early tomorrow morning at the bus stop, temperatures will be in the upper 20s throughout the afternoon. Plan on clearing skies, and that's going to give us sunshine later on in the day, and it's also going to help our temperatures climb just a little bit into the mid-40s for afternoon highs. It will be a little breezy outside tomorrow, wind speeds anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour, but temperature-wise, we're still in a really nice spot for early March, and that's where we're going to stay through the rest of the work week, into the weekend, and into the following week. Temperatures are going to stay above average, and overnight lows also above average. So we'll have a high of 45 tomorrow and the mid-40s also on Wednesday, with a slight chance for some rain creeping in on Thursday. But again, overall, a very dry week ahead. For the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, temperatures will climb close to 50 and then into the mid-50s as we spring forward get a little more daylight. And then for next week, we'll see some rain chances, some measurable rain chances for Monday and Tuesday.
That could be a little messy. We start to get a lot of rain on top of all this melting, and some people like to warm up, but you don't want to do it too quickly.
You don't want to do it too quickly, and having this dry break, if your backyard's like mine, it's a mud pit right now, and Black Earth Creek is rushing. A lot of our creeks are moving really quickly, so dry conditions for several days. Get the snow, get that water out of here before the rain comes back.
All right, Dana, thank you. Giannis is coming off one of his best games of the season, but the Heat, well, they've already beaten the Bucks once this year. We'll see if they can do it again tonight down in Miami. Highlights next in sports.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
When looking for a TV and internet provider, we know you have a choice. This is Jessica. She still has satellite TV.
Well, I get tons of HD.
Spectrum has tons of HD, and we love Spectrum's 24-hour local news channel. Plus, we get exclusive access to premium original content with Spectrum Originals.
I don't have that.
Get Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Call 833-976-4499.
Spectrum Internet starts at 200 megabits with no data caps and a free modem.
We have to get internet from another company, and it isn't nearly as fast.
Spectrum Internet, $44.99 a month.
I'd switch, but I'm stuck in a contract and would have to pay up to $480 to cancel.
Spectrum has no contracts, and they'll pay up to $500 to help you out of yours.
That's it. I'm switching to Spectrum.
Get Spectrum TV and internet from $44.99 a month each. Call 833-976-4499.
Here's to the hardest working people in America, the ones who break a sweat before the break of dawn, the ones who wear rugged right on their sleeves. At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we stand behind you with genuine value on the best, most trusted workwear brands. Like men's Carhartt quarter zip sweatshirts, $39.99. Men's Dickies 5-pocket jeans are only $19.99. And buy 2 work and sport thermal Henleys, get one free.
Hardest working people in America find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
The Our Home is the training ground for her dreams policy from American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
Go, we just have to start. Auto save your way there with Chase. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sweet.
With great deals, get ready to turn your dreams into reality.
Right now, during Toyota's Ready, Set, Go sales event, you can get $1,000 TFS APR cash when you finance a new 2020 Toyota RAV4.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Well, Giannis earned his 4th Eastern Conference Player of the Week award this week, 13th one this season after he led the Bucks to a 4-0 record last week. Now, yesterday against the Hornets, he put up some impressive numbers, 41 points, 20 rebounds, and 6 assists. No one has hit those kinds of numbers in a Bucks uniform since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in 1974. But the Bucks in Miami tonight, a team that has only lost 4 games at home. But the Greek Freak starting off strong, driving through the whole team on the court at the time, and finishes 13 points, 15 rebounds. Later, tie game Chris Middleton back from some neck soreness, the finger roll, and the Bucks take the lead 12 points for Middleton tonight. But the Heat showing why they're the only team to beat the Bucks twice this year. Jay Crowder, the corner three, 18 points for him off the bench, and a very rare loss for the Bucks, 105-89, the final score. The Badgers breaking the top 25 this week, ranked 24th in both the AP and coaches polls, and ESPN even has them ranked as high as a 4 seed for the NCAA tournament. But first, they've got to finish out the regular season this week. 2 games to go, home against Northwestern and on Wednesday and at Indiana on Saturday. And no matter where they end up in both the Big Ten and NCAA tournaments, the Badgers are confident in their ability to win tight games like last night's one over Minnesota.
I mean, we've been there many times this year. If you look at early in the season, we were in a bunch of close games down the stretch, and, we've been battle-tested at this point. We've been in a battle every game, and we've found ways to win. So, at the end of the day, that's what we did today was, you just got enough stops you need them to find a way to win, execute the plays that Coach Gard calls them. So just, finding ways to win.
All right, so this is what the conference looks like right now, fighting for those top spots there. Reminder that the top 4 get the double bye to start the Big Ten tournament. So right now, Wisconsin is in pretty good company in that 3-way tie for second, but still a very good chance of them winning, or at least getting a share of the regular season, so stay tuned. The NFL Combine coming to a close today, and the Badgers doing plenty to make names for themselves ahead of the draft at the end of April. Jonathan Taylor, you don't really need an explanation for him, and Quintez Cephas, well, he impressed some scouts too. And how about Brown Deer native Zach Bond? He impressed in the 40-yard dash, also finished in the top half of almost all the events among linebackers. Bond has a long line of Wisconsin linebackers to follow in the NFL, but he's just always tried to be himself.
That's a thing that I learned very early on in college, is that don't try to be like anyone else. Obviously, I got the opportunity to sit behind a lot of great Badger linebackers in my time at Wisconsin, and early on I found myself trying to mimic what they do. I realized I can't do the same things TJ Watt can do. I can't do the same thing Joe Schobert can do, but I can take bits and pieces of each one of their game and implement them into my own game and kind of create my own style, and I think that's what I've done.
And speaking of the Combine, check out punter, that's right, I said punter, Michael Turk from Arizona State, the only kicker or punter at this year's Combine. He put up 25 reps on the bench press, which for reference is 225 pounds. On this particular exercise, he bench pressed more than all but one tight end and all of the wide receivers. We'll be right back.
Bench press session. At Papa Murphy's, $10 Tuesday is about to be your new favorite day of the week. Every Tuesday, get any large pizza or build your own with up to 5 toppings for just $10. Tuesdays will never be the same. We make it, you make it. Papa Murphy's.
The world awaits in your new Jeep from Don Miller. It's the President's Day event on now. The tradition carries on with the new Jeep Wrangler. Get your own Don Miller deal plus rebates and incentives up to $5,500 off select remaining 2019 Jeep Wranglers. No day is the same in your new 2020 Jeep Gladiator. You'll get up to $2,000 bonus cash plus your own Don Miller deal on select 2020 Jeep Gladiators. The President's Day event on now at Don Miller, Madison and Dane Counties Jeep Headquarters, Odana Road, Madison.
Don Miller.
Okay then, why do professional builders and remodelers choose Nonn's? Oh, apparently it's reason number 163, which seems to be that, wow, people really feel it at a Nonn showroom. And it's not looking like the same experience when shopping online. So why should you choose Nonn's? Well, isn't it obvious? Nonn's, kitchen, bath, and flooring.
Get more for your kitchen now at the Brothers Main Big Kitchen Upgrade Sale. We want you to absolutely love your new kitchen, so you'll get big, big savings on the latest incredible products from GE and our risk-free 30-day price and satisfaction guarantee. We want you to be 100% satisfied every time. That's why we're the More Store. The Big Kitchen Upgrade Sale with more selection, more savings, and more kitchen. Now at the Brothers Main, your local store for more since 1938.
What you see is important to you. How you see is important to us. We're Shopco Optical. You'll see.
I'm Mike Bloomberg. Mike Bloomberg.
You've probably seen more ads from Michael Bloomberg than the rest of us running for president put together. Big money is powerful, but it doesn't always win. I know that firsthand. When I ran against an incumbent Republican to take a U.S. Senate seat away from Mitch McConnell, Bloomberg endorsed the Republican, and he raised big money for him. But I beat him anyway. I'm Elizabeth Warren, and I approve this message because I believe our democracy should work for you, not the billionaires.
Auto show concept cars are great, especially when affordability is part of the concept. Announcing Auto Show savings time at your local Ford dealer. Now get great deals on Explorer, Escape, Fusion, F-150, and more. Every Ford is proudly built with tomorrow's technology today, all with huge savings. Now that's a great concept. Now get 0 for 72 financing on a Ford F-150 or lease one for just $239 a month during Auto Show time at your local Ford dealer.
This portion of News 3 Now is sponsored by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly.
And we're back as Dana takes a final check of our warm start to March.
Yeah, mild temperatures sticking around. Tomorrow morning, your drive to work might include some light snow. I'm not really concerned about visibility with this line crossing through, and any light minor accumulations around 1/10 of an inch will certainly melt later on in the day as we get sunshine in the afternoon and temperatures climb to the mid-40s. We stay in the mid-40s on Wednesday with partly sunny skies, a slight chance for some rain creeping back in on Thursday, and then for Friday, Saturday, we have mostly sunny skies. Sunday, partly sunny, but the weekend right now does look very nice and pleasant. Temperatures close to 50, then in the mid-50s, and our next chance for some more measurable rain that will build in for the start of next week.
All right, Dana, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10. We hope you have a great night. See ya.
Now, a WISC-TV editorial with editorial director Neil Heinen.
A level playing field for all citizens requires both policies and personal commitment. One invaluable tool for equal accessibility for people with disabilities is the Americans with Disabilities Act, a federal law one would expect Wisconsin state government to follow responsibly. But as a News 3 Now investigation showed last week, many state agencies may be out of compliance with ADA. Brought to our attention by writer, producer, and advocate for people with disabilities Wendy Dwyer, reporter Amy Reed found nearly all agency websites had multiple, sometimes dozens, of errors. Some of the errors made accessibility difficult for people with visual limitations, but there were other potential accessibility barriers as well. This is just common sense and doing the right thing. Every state agency must be in compliance with ADA. We appreciate Wendy Dwyer's bringing this to our attention, and we expect quick fixes.